What's good, y'all? In case you guys missed it, a few days ago, Adrian Wojnarowski reported that Jontay Porter, the center for the Toronto Raptors, is getting investigated for irregularities on prop bets involving himself. In other words, he's betting on himself. And I want to just be clear here that there is nothing concrete or solidified that Jontay is involved in this or that he has done this, but there's a few things that are being reported that makes him seem a little fishy. The first instance happens on January 26th when the Raptors versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Jontay Porter only played 4 minutes total in this game, and he left due to an aggravated eye injury. It was something that he got a few days ago or a few games ago. It re-aggravated in this game apparently and caused him to only play 4 minutes. Of course, when you only play 4 minutes, the unders on your points, rebounds, assists, threes, they're all going to be under because you only played 4 minutes. Normally that wouldn't be anything crazy. A player gets hurt early in the game, they only play a few minutes, it sucks, but that's what happens when you bet, I guess. But the fishy thing was that the next day, FanDuel Sportsbook reported that the Jontay Porter under on 0.5 threes was the biggest money maker out of all prop bets that night. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know many people that are going out there and betting a boatload of money on Jontay Porter's under. I could be wrong, but I don't know a lot of people that are doing that. And then in the next game the Raptors played, Jontay played a full 19 minutes, rotational minutes. He had no issues playing again. He was recovered from his injury, and it was like nothing ever happened. Now, if you just take that instance alone, you can't really, there's no evidence there. There's nothing that's pointing towards Jontay Porter really being involved in this and purposefully leaving the game or whatever. But where it gets weird is a similar situation happened later on in the year, March 20th, when the Raptors versus the Kings. Jontay Porter played just 3 minutes and left due to an illness. Again, as you would expect, if you only play 3 minutes, the unders on all of your prop bets are going to hit. And again, weirdly enough, the highest money makers from FanDuel Sportsbook that night were the unders on Jontay Porter. Now you have to be thinking this is very, very weird. There's 2 games where Jontay barely played in the game. People put a boatload of money on the under and they hit. That is very, very fishy. And now that they've been looking into it a little bit more, it was announced that on that January 26th night where Jontay only played the 4 minutes and left the game, a separate sportsbook reported that someone tried to bet $10,000 and then $20,000 on the unders for Jontay Porter. They do have a cap limit. I think it's like 1,000 or 2,000, something like that. So the bets weren't able to be put through. But someone was betting $10,000 and $20,000 on Jontay Porter's under. That is very, very fishy. And the NBA has experienced these sports betting scandals before in its league. If you guys didn't know about the referee in the 2000s, Tim Donaghy, he got arrested. I'm pretty sure he took jail time for fixing NBA games and betting on them, making money that way. This is not a very good look for the NBA whatsoever. But I can't help but look at the irony of a story like this coming out just when the NBA and honestly sports in general are so heavily pushing sports betting and sports gambling and all of this. They're shoving it down our faces right now. Just the other night, I was watching the Cavs game casually, just sitting back, ready to watch some hoops, and I looked at the scoreboard and I noticed something different. I actually put the tweet out right here. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure you follow me. But right above the scoreboard, it had a point differential now on it. And I said, we're either in a sports betting epidemic or people can't do simple math. And a lot of people were replying, it was like, oh, it's a little bit of both, whatever, like, haha, making a joke out of it, because I was making a joke out of it, but it seriously does scare me a little bit. Then there's reports that the NBA app wants to integrate itself with live sports betting, where you could just, while you're watching the game, have it pop up right there. Oh, the Pistons are minus 15 right now. Let's take that right there. You click it, it brings you to your sports book, and you can place the bet that easy. That is an issue in my opinion. Then also, every single game right before it happens, you have a sponsored segment by FanDuel or by DraftKings or by whatever, different sports betting program they are doing. They have a parlay that they think you should take or whatever. They just, it's getting to a point where it's a lot. It is a lot. There used to be separation between watching sports for fun. Then there's going to be the people that gamble, the diehard fans, all that. And now it's just going geared all the way towards the sports gambling. And even beyond the, players and referees being involved in betting and fixing games and all of that, which is a huge problem in its own right. The mental aspect of shoving so much sports betting down everyone's throats is a big part of this as well. I don't know about you guys, but I started watching the NBA when I was like 14, 15 years old. I know plenty of people that started when they were even younger than that. There's a lot of kids that watch these games, and now when they're going to be watching, right before tip-off, it's, oh, make sure you go to FanDuel Sportsbook and do this, 10-leg parlay to win $1,000, win $1 million right now. They want to just watch the sport, and now they're thinking, I want money. Who doesn't want money? Let me just go into bet. Let me make sure I get to betting. And I know you're thinking there is an age limit for a reason, and luckily so. In most states, it's 21 plus or at least 18 years old plus to bet. But it's still impacting those kids and kind of planting the seeds early on that they want to and need to sports bet in the future. And then also when you have apps like Underdog or Prize Picks or all of those other ones, not to call out just those two, there's plenty of other ones too, they market themselves as daily fantasy sports. So you can very easily get around that age gap right there and get straight to betting when you're in high school, when you're in middle school. And once you get into gambling, it is very, very easy to get addicted to that adrenaline rush and that, living on the edge of your seat type of thing, especially when you are a young kid with, your mind is still changing, all that, not fully developed. It could be really, really easy to get addicted like that. I've seen it happen firsthand with some of my friends. Well, they'll start off and they'll just place a parlay here and there, they'll hear people talking about it, be like, oh yeah, let me place that bet right there. Then it gets to a point where they're like, oh, let me get one every single day, just one bet a day. It's not an issue. I'll just place one here. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it's whatever. I'll try again tomorrow. Then it gets to the point where it's, all right, I have my parlay set up. Now I want to bet on this game too. So if my parlay doesn't hit, at least I have a chance to just get this straight up money line to hit as well. Then it gets to a point where it's, oh, there's no NBA on tonight. I'm really only an NBA fan, but let me just place a bet on this hockey game. Let's just see how it works, And then it gets to a point where it's, oh, it's 9 a.m., 11 a.m., there's no sports on right now. Oh, actually, there's Japanese baseball on. Let me place a bet on Japanese baseball. You could see the rabbit hole that you could quickly fall into. And don't get me wrong, I am a casual bettor. Like, I don't think sports betting is the devil. I don't think that it should be abolished or anything like that. I think you should be able to have fun with it. But I think that they need to do a better job at marketing the problems and the issues that could come with sports betting. I'm over the age of 21 years old. I only place a parlay, once every few days. If anything, I'll have some times where I do back-to-back, but it's nothing crazy. I never bet more than $5 or $10 on a parlay. Unfortunately, that's not the case for a majority of sports bettors. Well, they'll be placing $20, $40, $60, $100 on a bet, and they'll have multiple bets a night, every single night. And it's not only the bettors that are hurting themselves when they lose. They lose out on the money and they get all that excitement, and then now they crash all the way down. They're also taking it out on the athletes and the coaches that they are betting on. Tyrese Halliburton just had an interview where he said that a lot of fans look at him as just another way to make some money and that he feels like just a prop sometimes. And unfortunately, that is the sad truth. A lot of these people, a lot of these fans, they'll look at these players on the screen and they don't see them as real humans and as real people with emotions and things that they go through. We've seen countless times where athletes will expose people in their DMs and they'll call them slurs and a bunch of vile, foul things in their DMs just because they didn't score enough points for your parlay. A lot of times they'll say, screw your parlay, I don't care, which is good, that's what they need to do. But you can't tell me if you have millions of people in your DMs talking shit to you, you wouldn't feel some type of way. JB Bickerstaff, too, came out in an interview saying how people have threatened him and his family because of games that they lost and everything. Like, take a second, take a breath, and think about how insane that is. You're getting death threats from you and your family from people because they lost a bet. Are you serious right now? And again, I'm not saying that sports betting should be abolished altogether. I just really think the NBA and other sports organizations should think about the downsides of sports betting before they fully integrate it and it becomes one. Obviously they can make a lot of money, and that's what a lot of these top head CEOs are thinking about, is just the money, money, money. But you have to think about the people aspect about it as well. What do you guys think about sports gambling? Are you a sports gambler? Do you, do it casually? Are you a hardcore? Do you hate it? Let me know down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the description, there's links to all my social medias, so make sure you follow me on all those to keep up to date with me. Catch y'all.